Hey everybody, welcome back. So I'm just going to continue on showing the rest of my favorite jazz records, or some of my favorites. I just finished showing Love Supreme, and I could show a lot of other Coltrane records that I love as well, but the ones that I showed are three of my very favorites. And speaking of Coltrane, you gotta have some Alice Coltrane in your jazz collection. This is a very, very beat up jacket. It's original. And the actual interesting thing about this is, if you can see on the label there, it'll say CKCU, which is my university's campus radio station. So I guess at one time this was in their record collection. There would have been a label there, I guess. And but I found this in a record store last year or something, and this is her most acclaimed album, and for good reason. It's really, really enthralling. The one thing I'll say about this album is I can't concentrate on anything when this album's playing. It's just it hits you with a wall of sound with the her playing on her harp and all the various instruments that's on this, and it just encapsulates my whole mind. I almost feel like I'm in a trance when I listen to this record. It's just all consuming, but very good. I saw about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, a whole Alice Coltrane collection came into a record store, and they were all in great shape. And I knew about Alice Coltrane at this time, obviously, but I didn't know anything about those records. I thought, oh, maybe those aren't like very strong records. Like, I know Journey in Serenata is an acclaimed album, but I didn't know anything about her other ones. And kind of wrong of me, just the thing. But I didn't have a lot of money to spend, so I went home, listened to them, and thought, wow, those are. She has a lot of other strong records. And when I went back to the store, they're all sold. I went back within like a couple hours too. I went home, listened to them, and then went back right away, and they're already sold. So Alice Coltrane was in Coltrane's last band before he died, with Rashied Ali, Alice Coltrane, Jimmy Garrison, continued on with Coltrane, and Pharoah Sanders. And I really, really, really love Pharoah Sanders' music. It's pretty hard to find his records from where I'm from. I'm always after Pharoah Sanders' record, but I only own this one and a compilation on Impulse. But I could still say that I'm pretty sure this is my favorite album, Deaf, Dumb and Blind. I love a lot of his other albums, like Black Unity, Karma, Tahid, and pretty well his all those late 60s, early 70s records that he did for Impulse are fantastic. And I own versions on MP3, but this is the only one I own on vinyl, and my favorite. It's original, and it's composed of 2 tracks. One's Let Us Go Into the House of the Lord. Let Us Go Into the House of the Lord. It's actually composed by a guy who played for him, Looney Liston Smith, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But and then someone Amiyam, probably butchered the name of the second track, but Also very, very good as well. As typical with a lot of his early Impulse records, is heavy African like percussion influences, which is really beautiful and very interesting. But this is such a good record. I know this has been shown a couple times recently in the vinyl community, and those of you that see it, happen to come across it, I urge you to pick it up. So I just said that Let's Go Into the House of the Lord was composed by Looney Liston Smith, so might as well show Looney Liston Smith record. Again, the only record I own by him. Hope to pick up some more in the future, but Cosmic Funk, really good record. Not out of this world amazing, but very good, and pretty funky as the title suggests. Not extremely so. Like the title track, Cosmic Funk, very funky, but the rest of the record in places is funky, but just a good strong record. He does a cover of Nema by Coltrane, and this is on Flying Dutchman Records, which was the label that Bob Thiel created after leaving Impulse Records. I think Impulse Records really went kind of downhill after he left. They still made some great records, but like the one that I just showed. Wow, I'm just blanking right now. Deaf, Dumb, Blind by Pharoah Sanders. Wow, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Anyways, continuing on. Who can show jazz without showing records by this man? Kinda Blue by Miles Davis. This is a really, really good clean copy. Like, just an amazing shape. But not original, unfortunately. Not on the 6i. This is on 2i Columbia. But still a really nice pressing to have. For me, a big part of it is that I really love having is close to the original packaging. I know packaging shouldn't matter that much, but it's just nice to have a really nice jacket. Part of the reason I love Impulse so much. But like, it would be nice to have a 6i, and it would probably sound better, but I've never come across a copy, and it can get pretty expensive. And this is still like nice paper rack slick on the jacket, and still like same kind of matte finish, but thick cardboard sleeve, really nice. I'm not going to talk about too much about Kinda Blue because most people are familiar with it, and it's been talked about a lot before. In a Silent Way. It might be my favorite Miles Davis record. It's tough. I like every record that every Miles record that I'm showing is very close to. I'm not sure which one stands out as my favorite. They're all very, very good, and I love them. In a Silent Way. So yeah, just when he was starting his fusion stuff, this was his first kind of fusion record, but doesn't go that heavily into it. And Bitches Brew would be the record right after, where he goes full blown jazz fusion. And this is done in a much subtler way, hence the title, kind of like In a Silent Way. He kind of creeps in with the that jazz fusion sound, but really good record. This is a second pressing, and I'm not the biggest fan of Bitches Brew. It's a good record, but kind of aimless. Like it's just kind of like a jam record, and I don't know. It doesn't do a whole lot for me, but I like his other fusion records right after, like Tribute to Jack Johnson. This is so good, and probably the most rock Miles Davis would ever become. And so if you see this, pick it up. This is another second pressing. This is original though. On the Corner. Such a good record. So yeah, have it out of the jacket because it's tough to get at. Because for those who don't know, it's a gatefold, and you have to pull the record from the inside of the sleeve instead of like on the edge. But yeah, for like, I don't own a lot of funk records in my collection. I wish I owned a lot more, and especially like jazz funk too, and like besides like Cosmic Music and a couple Herbie Hancock records. But this is a very, very good, really unique. The sounds that he gets on this record are I don't think I've heard anyplace else, and kind of loose, just loose but tight at the same time. Get a lot of interesting sounds and stuff, and I also like that I much prefer this kind of funk and stuff, and not much prefer, but I prefer this kind of funk and stuff to Herbie Hancock's kind of like funkier records, like Headhunters, and because like it's more kind of, Herbie Hancock's more of a mechanical kind of very good too, but a more mechanical thing. I like the that looseness and stuff that On the Corner has. One of my, I guess I have time for one more record. So I'll be continuing this on in part 3 later on, but before I go, one of my favorite tenors, Joe Henderson, and this record is so good. Very, very, very good. So in the early 70s, this concert was recorded in the summer of 1971 in Japan, of course, and it had Joe Henderson. When he went over, he plays on this record with, I think, what was considered some of the best Japanese jazz musicians at the time. And another interesting thing is that it's Joe Henderson on tenor, of course, but the piano on this record is an electric piano, so kind of has an interesting sound. Like, this is definitely not a fusion record, jazz fusion record. It's played in like the same hard bop kind of sense, but that electric piano adds like a interesting vibe that I haven't found or I haven't heard on a lot of other records. This is on the Milestone label, and like Astro Traveler said, this is a highly underrated label. They put out a lot of consistent releases, and a lot of great albums, but it's definitely not held in the same esteem that other labels are, like Impulse and Blue Note. Like, people go freaking insane over Blue Note records. But you can pick these up pretty cheap, and I highly recommend it. And look how like badass this guy is, especially that photo on the back. But okay, better wrap this up soon. Anyways, he performs one of the best versions I've ever heard of Around Midnight, Thelonious Monk's tune, and then he does a reworking of In and Out, one of his early Blue Note tracks, and but he calls it Out and In here, Out and In, because it's kind of a reworking. And he also performed Blue Bossa, one of his other really known tracks, on one of his early Blue Note records, and it's fantastic.